You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Hey, what up, man? This is your boy, Al Mega. What's popping? And today, we got an amazing guest. We're going to be talking about indie comics. We're going to be talking about wrestling. I mean, particularly that lucha libre, papi, that lucha libre, para que sepan, wepa. We have an amazing creator and illustrator, a comic book universe creator. He's a man behind the Luchaverse that is coming to Massive Comics Publishing. I mean, let's bring this legend, this future star in the making, the one, the only, DDiego Valenzuela. Weeppaaaa, baby, how you doing today?
Wow, that's one hell of an introduction. Thank you so much for that. I am so happy to be here, man.
This is wrestling now, brother, and I know you're going to be into comics today, baby, you know. Oh, and I can't wait, bro. Listen, I'm excited, bro. You know, you were talking about my two favorite things, comics and wrestling. I dig it. And you messing with some lucha libre legends, and you know, yes, even WWFE, whatever you want to call them, legends as well that are in the mix in this particular universe. But you know what? Let me tone it down just a tad, just a wee bit, right, bro? You gotta talk to me a little bit about, because it's my first time meeting you, you know, because again, you know, you got this Mass Republic comics, you know, in conjunction with Massive, and you bring in the Luchaverse, because apparently you've been doing this for a minute, and we're going to get into that. But first, Diego, let me know where you are originally from. And I have to ask, but it may be obvious, what was the first thing you ever fell in love with in fandom?
Okay, I'm born and raised from Mexico City.
Okay.
Where I currently reside. So if the power goes out, that's going to be that is because Mexico City is just suffering from that right now, but hopefully it doesn't.
It's not that. It's because they don't want to talk to bringing the Weeppaaaa. We're bringing the Luchaverse of the world. They're not going to interrupt this. They want to interrupt this, because you know how big Lucha is in Mexico. Come on now.
Yeah.
There they.
So as far as pop culture, oh man, I honestly can't remember like the first thing I ever fell in love with. It's because it's been only so much. What I do remember, and it's something that whenever somebody asks when I started reading comics, I usually go to the first DC comic I read, but I'm honestly doing a disservice to the actual first comic I read, which I still read every year, and it changed my life, which is the Calvin and Hobbes series.
Oh my God, you sound like Johnny Hughes. Shout out to the machine. That is his John too. Calvin and Hobbes, he swears by that. You know what? But me too, because anytime I got la noticia de los domingos, you know, like the daily news, Calvin and Hobbes was the first thing I was reading. You know,
yeah.
Comics, mommy, papi, toma. I'm reading the comics.
I'm reading the strips. Yeah. So I think that was the first thing I ever fell in love with. I became fixated on it. Like my grandfather had some books, and I was reading them, and eventually I really got into reading other kind of comics, and of course video games and films. They were like the thing that kept me really hooked from the beginning.
What was the first movie? What was the first movie that got you like, oh shit, this is so cool?
Oh boy, that's an excellent. Like, okay, I do remember the first movie I ever remember seeing like in theaters, which is Tango and Cash. I was 3 years old.
Yes, it's Tango and Cash.
I remember, like, I was with my brothers, and I was like, I think I was being held like,
you were being held hostage
by an uncle. Yeah, and
te jodieron todo con esto.
Yeah, I have the electrocution scene like so clear in my head since that point.
My man, if you see an electric chair, you probably get fucking concussed. Bendito, you all right? Yeah. Listen, my parents took me to Hell Night at 5 years old with Linda Blair. That was my first horror movie in the movie theater. Hell Night. This is why I love slashers. You know, listen, mommy, papi, thank you. You know what I mean? It gave me my love, but muchacho, let's just get the shit out of me as a kid, you know?
as a follow up to that, just not much after that, they also took me to see with an uncle because my parents wouldn't see Arachnophobia, which also
Oh,
traumatized me for life. I think it was also 89 or 90 here in Mexico. I
no
was
more
15 years old.
arañas. I guess
Yeah, no,
you're a Superman fan, right, brother?
I'm not a big fan, no. But the thing is that I did become a huge horror fan eventually. I used to be super scared of them when I was a kid, but eventually I became a huge horror fan.
We're masochists at the end of the day. It scares the shit out of it, and then we start loving it. We want more.
Well, you just have to embrace it, right? Like it's just there, and it's been so much. It's been so much fun to kind of get into it, and the more I grew, the more I was exposed to pop culture, the more I really not only understood how much I enjoyed it, but the more I wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to write and I wanted to tell stories and I wanted to someday act maybe. And there were so many things that I wanted to do. And I started writing like my own stories when I was 13 years old, like the first story I ever wrote.
Really?
And I don't think I ever stopped writing it since then. Like ever since I was 13, I've been writing something, like some minor project. Most of them, of course, for my own sake. But that's how I knew how passionate I was about storytelling. And I've always tried to bring that passion wherever I go. Like even if I used to work on something that didn't really involve writing as such or storytelling as such, I found ways to kind of turn it into a story. Because it just I find it's the most engaging thing. Like the best way for people to engage with anything is by telling them a story and by being passionate about it. And I think those two things are what really drove me. I think what eventually brought me here to your show. It's something we are doing it at Mass Republic. Like we're really focused on telling awesome stories and show how passionate we are about lucha and entertainment and just inspiring and moving an audience.
So talk about those early origins then, because here you are saying you're creating since you're a kid. You're a fan of pop. I mean, did you have a tribe growing up, and how did that even lead into you meeting your people that help create what is Mask?
So, I think a lot of it comes from the fact that I have two older brothers, and they get exposed to a lot of the pop culture and media that I wouldn't be at such an early age.
The original stuff, the Hulk Hogan's, the Ultimate Warrior days, right? I mean, una cosa, I mean, Mascara's original days, like, what I mean? I get it, bro.
Like they would get exposed to that stuff. So, like for instance, one of the first comics I ever read after Calvin and Hobbes was my older brother got Batman's Nightfall, and he read it and he was crazy about it. And then I was like, let me check this out, and I just loved reading through it. Because like I was familiar with the character of Batman, of course, and some of the other most popular superheroes in the 90s. But I wasn't a huge fan because the only exposure I really had were with the movies. And I think I obviously liked the first Christopher Reeve Superman. I wasn't a huge fan of the Tim Burton's Batman, probably because it scared the hell out of me when I was like 6 years old. But when I read the comic, I was like, wow, there is so much more. There are so many more characters than I thought even existed. So it kind of opened my eyes to just how big universe can be within the pages of a comic book. I was just getting a small peek into a huge world of interconnected stories and characters. And that really kind of spoke to me. And I love the characters themselves. Like when I saw Bane, I was like, dude, this guy is awesome. Which is funny.
See a Latino finally.
Yes, which is also funny because he's 100% coded as a luchador, and I have his mask back there if you can see it.
Hey, I see it.
Like right above my head.
Folks, listen, don't you trust Diego at a convention. You better be careful. If he wears that mask, you better be careful.
I probably will.
I mean, but listen, I was proud because I it took a Latino to break the Batman. Weeppaaaa, that's
right. And I love the costume and I love the whole thing. And growing up in Mexico City, it's really hard not to be constantly exposed to maybe not lucha libre matches, but at least the lucha libre culture.
Yeah.
because everywhere you go, you can see like masks painted or whatever in magazines. And I remember at some point just walking down the street with my mom in Mexico City and seeing on a newsstand a Lucha Libre magazine. I really wish I knew which one it was. I was literally like 5 or 6 years old, but I do remember like Blue Demon was on the cover, and I was like, I don't know who that is, but he looks like a total badass. And
but they say he was bleeding too, right?
Yeah, I mean, probably
plastic back in the day. You're like, what the fuck? Why is this guy bleeding? Jesus Christ. Mommy, I gotta read this. Why are they killing this guy?
So that's kind of the cool thing that I made the immediate association that luchadores are like the closest thing we have to real life superheroes.
Oh yeah, I fucking agree. Again, the Mascaras, who's the other guy? Oh my god. That you kind of reference to. Oh my god. Well, obviously Rey Mysterio,
Atlantis.
There's so many like Latin, wrestlers from back in that lucha libre days. I mean, coño, bro, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and
they were acting like superheroes. I remember the Mil Máscaras. Me watching Canal 47 back in the day. And, my father was, mira, esto es una película. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the other thing that was a lot of fun to consider in terms of pop culture were the old Santo, Blue Demon, Tiniebla Senior movies from the
El Santo,
60s,
there you go. Oh, that's the dude.
Oh, okay, there you go. Santo.
El Santo, that's right, baby. Wow.
Yeah, and they have these awesome movies in which they are wrestlers and luchadores by day, and you see them doing their thing on the ring. But then the cool thing is that they get off the ring, they keep their suits and their masks, and then they go fight a vampire, right? Or they go fight a mummy or a monster or whatever.
Kayfabe to the ultimate way. I mean, when they talk about kayfabe, I think that Latin wrestlers took it beyond. I mean, I know that American wrestlers, yeah, they were real life. I mean, but when it came to lucha libre, the kayfabe went into the movies. These motherfuckers went in with a mask. You know what? That could have been homie's brother that day. You don't even know.
Yeah, and that was a cool thing. Like when you as a kid go see these wrestlers fight on the ring, you have this. They are also selling you this fantasy that once they're done here, they're gonna go protect you from monsters, right? They're gonna go fight the mummies and the werewolves. And that is
James Bond of fucking the Latino verse. The James Bond, all that shit. But I love it.
Yeah, and that is something that's really, really special and really unique to Lucha Libre, at least back then, and something that we are precisely bringing back now with the Luchaverse. We really like that idea, and the Luchaverse stories are pretty much that.
Let's talk about that. Ooh,
yeah,
getting it, baby. You getting it? I love it. What a segue, because that's what Diego do. He just moved right into boom. We're talking about making their debut, baby. That's right. Some stories that are just too big for the ring, baby.
Which is, I love that tagline so much, because it really sells the idea that we're selling here about. These are not wrestling stories. These are not stories about like, despite what the cover might suggest, these are not stories about wrestling on the ring. These are actual wrestlers who are doing their own fights, their own battles outside of the ring against all kinds of creatures and monsters and whatever. My favorite part about all this is that for the start of the Luchaverse, which is what we're calling the Luchaverse Catalyst, and the first issue of which is coming out on July 17th, which you're seeing at the cover right now. It features Tinieblas Jr. and a special guest appearance by Rey Mysterio.
Oh my God, folks! If you ever Daniel Black P3 podcast, I know you're gonna love this. You better go to Forbidden Planet right now and put this on your pull list, because I mean, look at that cover. Jeez. Oh, wait a minute. And who's even in the audience? You got even like, what are you doing there? Hey.
It's no, and you should just check out the like, there are several cover variants for each issue.
I got some.
They are all
you
so
tease
cool.
me some. You tease me some. So
yeah, there's the Francesco Tomaselli, which is beautiful. The Leo Colapietro, who is an incredible artist, is also doing one. And they are all also so beautiful, and definitely worth collecting. Yeah, as you just said, you can actually pre-order now from Massive. And probably at your local comic shop, you can also pre-order now. Even it's coming on July 17th, but you can buy the kickoff. Like we are going to have 3 issues for the Catalyst,
Okay.
and the first of which launches in 2 months. And it's just so much fun, man. The thing about the Catalyst,
Oof.
which that is a Leo Colapietro cover, which is just gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, and look at these names you're giving me. Thank God you're pronouncing them, because I would have fucked them up. Thank you.
And so the cool thing is, during these 3 issues, we have 6 stories.
Okay.
The first 5 of which feature a different luchador character fighting their own story, doing their own thing in this interconnected world. And we have the Lucha Brothers, and we have Solar and Superastro, of course, Rey Mysterio and Tinieblas Jr. We have Conan, and the coolest thing about this is that each of them has their own kind of like a genre in which they perfectly fit. Like Tinieblas Jr. is more of a horror adjacent monster hunter. Conan is more of a political conspiracy theory thing.
Okay.
The Lucha Brothers are doing a really fun martial arts fantasy story, and it's all and the what I came into Mass Republic to do is kind of take all these stories and bring them together into one exciting climax that kicks off the Luchaverse. Like I said before, this is the catalyst. This is the beginning of it, and it's just such a big thing.
I love Big Bang, baby. This is the Big Bang.
Yeah, man. That is the cool thing, that it's so big, and it's just the beginning. That is the most exciting thing. And after the 6th story, which comes at the 3rd Catalyst issue, we begin the universe proper, right? Like I'm already writing some stuff that I can't give away right now, but it's really exciting.
Look at this guy. He's teasing. Yeah, I mean, I think I need to put a stripper pole here and just have these guys talk and just dance on the pole when you want to just tease us, because this is horrible. How dare you? I can't wait. I mean, and even look at this cover by Ben Harvey. Beautiful.
Yeah,
bro.
Ben Harvey did some incredible work in here, and
this looks insane, yo. I mean, I'm digging it, man. The foil cover.
And the cool thing about this one, the Rey Mysterio story in particular, is that Ben Harvey did the whole inks and
nice.
and the pencils. So yeah, you can really tell it looks beautiful.
Oh, look at that one.
Yeah, I love the Luchaverse logo is just gorgeous,
dude. So who designed that?
I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would love to answer that question, and I would love who designed that one in particular. But it's I will get back to you on that. But actually, it was Dr. Napalm, of course, Terrorifico Dr. Napalm. It says right there.
Yeah.
Who you can follow on Instagram. His art is also incredible.
El Terrorifico Dr. Napalm. Was he actually a wrestler?
It does sound that way.
Coño, bro. He's an art wrestler. Yeah, we don't want to mess with him, bro. I'm telling you. Look at this one. Diego Simon. Yeah, bro. Look at that. Bro. Look at this art you guys got on. Yo, bro, how proud. All right, so talk about you. I mean, you right? You're part of the book, and then working with your team. How was that collaboration like for you? Was it something new to you to have even more hands-on, or I mean, because I know this is you're the brains behind this baby, but how was it to have even more people involved now and expanding it?
Actually, I came into the game, like I came into the Luchaverse a bit later. The actual creators of the story, like the concept and the story, and who wrote the first 5 stories, are actually Marco Lopez and Ivan Plaza, co-created by Kevin Kleinrock, who is the president of
Salute and apologies, but you're a co-creator because you got stuff going on. Right.
Yeah, they already had this incredible story and this incredible comic books, really beautiful storytelling that really goes well with the art, honestly. And when I came on board, I came to, like I said before, kind of tie everything together and take it from there. I always think that every time you get into a new team or a new story, it's a new experience. You can't really assume you know what to expect, and that is one of the best things about it. The awesome thing is that it was just so easy for me, not only because the creative team behind everything here is incredibly talented and welcoming, and they really trusted in my experience to kind of give me free reign on how to tell this story.
Well,
And it was a challenge for me because again, the Ivan and Marcos' work was so intricate and well written that I wanted to make sure that when I took over for their storytelling, I was doing it justice, and if I can, maybe even improve it. And it's so cool to feel to take somebody's work and make sure you are being respectful to it and do whatever you can with it and have the trust of the team behind you. Like
I gotta ask you then. I need to know here then. You know, I don't mean to interrupt, but just staying on the rhythm of you taking over, you know, someone else's baby, if you will. What's the narrative that you took that was different than the narrative they were taking? That you said maybe this is the direction they should go. That they were saying, okay, I agree.
Well, what we did here is that we kind of took. Let's just say, like, the catalyst is the beginning of the story, right? And the challenge for me, like the difficult part, was making sure that the story I wrote for the third catalyst was a coherent continuation of all 5 stories written by Ivan and Marcos. And that was the biggest challenge. But I did have a lot of help from Kevin to kind of help me, giving me ideas, telling me, yeah, you know what, this could work, we could do this way. And then when I submit the script, could get some really helpful notes on how to make it better, which is really not that different from the best teams I've ever worked with in the past. Like, as a writer, unless you're writing novels, and even if you're writing novels, you really aren't writing alone. That's something that's very important to always consider. Like, even if you're doing indie comics, unless you do literally everything, when you're only a writer, you are working with other artists, you are working with producers. And that is, a lot of people think that is usually a challenge, or that means you're gonna get blocked or censored. It really hasn't been my experience. I feel blessed in that sense, because pretty much every idea I had to take the story and move it along with the plans that Mass Republic had and the things we pitched, it was very, very, very painless. It was just so easy to pitch ideas and move on and have them executed. And just see, in my case, like, when I started seeing Javier Martin Covas inking and from this point of just seeing the sketches after my script, I was just growing so excited about it. Like, just seeing your words come to life, it never gets old. Like, I've seen it happen in live action, I've seen it happen in animation, I've seen it happen in comics, and it's always an incredible thing to see another artist take your script and kind of put it through their own lens and make it better. Like, you see their own interpretation of what you had in mind, and
and you're like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. It's always so great to see your stuff improved, right? And to see that come to life on the page, it's just so rewarding.
I think. And who did this cover? I mean, you telling me you saw these type of posters back in Mexico City, bro?
Yeah, I love this one by Napalm, because it just captures it so well. Like, that style and the lettering, and it's perfect.
It is. It's a beautiful color. That's probably the one I get. And here we have the other John. Like, look how beautiful that is, man. It's a legend. And I love that other mask. And you guys are after my heart. That's my colors right there with the yellow and black, baby. The gold and black. Let's go. New series, Luchaverse, the Kylus. Issue number 1, starring Rey Mysterio and Tinieblas, baby. It is dropping in July from Massive. I mean, you guys, listen. You guys don't know. You've been watching. You've been listening. If you don't believe, listen. Don't make me start doing a wrestling sketch here, because let me tell you, this is what you got to do right now, baby. You got to follow Mass Republics on Facebook and IG at Mass Republic Comics. Then, baby, you're going to follow them on X at Masked Rep Comics. But most importantly, what you're going to do right now, baby, is you're going to follow Diego on X at The Damn Beast. And then on Facebook at The Diego Valenzuela. And then on Instagram, he's keeping it holy. And follow him at The Dorn Beast. Right? You know what it is? And then, of course, check out what the awesome publisher that is out there right now. You're showing love to indie Massive Comics at massivepublishing.com. All right. So, check them out. I mean, they're showing love. But Diego, man, I mean, after this catalyst, what more can we expect? I mean, what's the agenda? What's the idea? Let's manifest. Am I going to get a cartoon and a movie? Am I going to get a novela? What's going on, bro? Give it to me, Diego.
Like I said before, and I don't mean to tease, but I can't really give away too much now. What I can say is that it is huge.
Again, that pole, bro. Dios mío.
What I can say, and this probably only makes it worse, is that it is very big and really exciting. It's what I'm working on right now, like what we at Mass Republic are working on right now. And the like again, it's called the Luchaverse or something. It is big, and this is as big as this is, and as good as this is. It is just the beginning. That's the best part of it.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm excited. So talk to me about what's coming up. Are you doing any conventions? Can we meet you in person? Can we get some of these books signed after July in any spots that you're going to be at? Talk to me, bro. We want to meet you. We want to talk lucha. We want to get some masks. I mean, talk about the swag. Are we going to have masks or what? What's going on, bro? I'm kind of excited here. I got a mask. You want to see my mask?
Yes, always. Please.
You think I'm fucking around? I got a mask, bro, and it's funny, but I had to do it because it's one of my favorite characters.
Oh my god, that is so cool! I want one of those.
A big salute to my brother Daniel Black. He knows that I love Spawn. He made me a lucha.
That is an awesome mask.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Oh damn! I'm gonna need
to
find one of those.
One of your artists is also behind this beautiful book. So thank you again. That Latino love out there, and just like repping and displaying our culture and all that type of stuff. Like Diego, man, that's amazing, and I appreciate that. So going back to the question, any conventions you're going to be doing this year?
I'm not entirely sure because I don't think it's completely certain now. I believe we're gonna be at the. I hope we're gonna be at Animole in September here in Mexico City.
What's that one? Wait! I never heard of that. Talk to me about that. Please, let's put on our people, our fellow Crusaders, so amazing conventions that they need to be aware of.
So La Mole is one of the biggest conventions in Mexico City. It might be the biggest one right now. For like our version of Comic Con.
Okay.
And there are two. It happens twice a year. Once, I think it just happened like a couple of months ago. Okay. And I think it's in March, and the other one is in September, which is called Animole. Okay. I hope to be there. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I hope to be there. What I can tell you is that if you do follow Mass Republic Comics and Mass Republic itself on all social, you are going to be aware of where you can meet us and meet the team and meet the artists and whoever can show up to help to just meet the fans and promote this work because it's really worth it.
You look like a wrestler. Were you a wrestler?
If I was, I wouldn't be able to tell you, man.
He can't. The mask is off. He cannot admit it. That is the rule in Mexico. I know this shit. This guy is gangster. Is he not? I dare you make a move. No, I dare you not. The Crusaders will be after you touch this man. Let me tell you, but this is what we do. Mass Republic Comics, follow them, right there. On Facebook and IG is Mask Republic Comics. That's MASKEDED. All right, Republic Comics, and then it's Masked REP Comics on X. Then of course you go on all three to follow the brand itself at Masked, ED Republic. Period. That's it. Done. All over the socials, and then you can follow my big homie here though. This is the man right here you got to follow. This is an amazing future star right here. He's been in the game. He's been teasing us. Oh my God. He can't tell us too much because, again, we're 2 months away, But you know what, Diego? Can you please come back in 2 months and then we could really talk about it?
Hey man, I can come back whenever you want. I love this space. I love talking to you.
Yeah, let's be it, baby, because this is the business. Yeah, okay, because I really want to know more, and we've been teasing you here. But Massive Republic, they're doing some awesome things you see in the space of pop culture. So please follow my man Diego here on Twitter at the Damn Beast. On Facebook, DDiego Valenzuela, Instagram, the Darn Beast, like I said earlier. I mean, the homies bringing the business. Please follow Massive Comics on X as well, at Massive Published right there. And also you go to massivecomics.com, as I said earlier. Sort of Love. This is independent comics at their best. This is wrestling. This is comics. And we're going to bring Diego back in 2 months, in July, where we could finally really, gush about the awesomeness of the book, because that's what I want to do. Because I already see the art.
Would be great.
I see what characters he's coming with. Oh, my effing God. Am I excited? What a tease. I've never been teased this bad on my own podcast. How dare he do this? I didn't even get any pretext. Last minute, he goes, show these pictures. Oh, my God. Coño, bro, que malo tú eres. Ay, Dios mío. It's all right. I'm going to wait and be patient. July's coming, baby. And my fellow Crusaders, I promise you, Diego will be back. You heard him. And he's a man of his word. All right? We don't know what type of luchador he is, if at all. We got to just watch. Now, look at him carefully. And then look at him.
Don't look at my tattoos, though.
No, the giveaway. All right. Well, all right. Last question here before we go away. This has been fun. Any words of advice for any up-and-coming creators that are, trying to step in the game, especially based on how you came in?
Yeah. So the one piece of advice that I always give, because it's what it always kept me going, is to always don't wait until somebody pays you to create. Don't wait until somebody gives you permission to create. Always be creating something, even if it's only for yourself or your family or your friends, because it will just change the game for you. Not only will you get your stories out there and be able to tell whatever you have boiling up inside you, it also makes you a better writer. It also gives you a resume. And I just know that some work I've gotten was because I wrote those books back then. But back there, I wrote them on myself by when I could, during class, during work, or whatever. You really need to just write and just draw and become better at whatever you want to do, and do it by yourself. Do it privately. Do it all the time. Not because you want to get paid, but because you really need to. That is what I think the sign of a creator. You need to get the stories told, and it doesn't matter if the story has been told before. It doesn't matter if blah 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 blah. Nobody cares. Just tell your stories, write, create, and don't stop creating, even if it looks bleak, because it might look bleak. That is the best advice I can give.
I love that. It's true, man. Just get out there, do your thing. Don't worry about no one else. Because I have people that tell me, I've had someone told me, oh, I feel like you're my competition. I'm not here to compete with nobody. I do what I do. You do what you do. I'm not trying. Listen, I'm here to talk to awesome people. I'm not competing with nobody.
If
you take it that way, thank you for assuming me as a threat. But, I'm a threat to no one. I just want to be talking to awesome people like Diego that is bringing greatness over to the world, sharing in their creativity. Because, again, you got to salute, flowers time, brother. Gracias, hermano. Not many people share in their artistic vision. So many people that are so creative are so shy about sharing their vision. And just thank you for being that bold out there, because that does take courage. So, thank you for just putting out there and having fun with it and building the tribe and the team. And I can't wait to see where Luchaverse goes, baby.
Yeah.
Woo! Let's go, baby. I'm excited, folks. That's right. It's coming from Massive Comics. You better check them out in July. It's the Massive Republics Union right there. Collabo, man. And Diego's one of the people right here, building this new universe. You better show that love. All the notes are below. I'm Al Mega. That is D. Valenzuela. Thank you, my fellow Crusaders, for tuning in. As always, I appreciate you. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Ya tú sabes. Weeppaaaa!
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.